hair's getting long.
That's right, I need to cut it.
What?
I need to cut it.
Yeah, I know. I need you to cut it.
Yeah.
Save me $20, man. Get your mic up there so I can actually hear you.
I was going to say,
There
I
we
don't
go.
think you have it working.
Sorry about that.
You're okay.
It's too many buttons for me to push at once.
I know.
Yeah.
You've been running back and forth trying to get this all set
I
up.
have. There's a crazy amount of prep involved in this. I spend more time prep. I mean, that's the truth with any video or audio shoot. Spend more time prepping than we actually do, doing the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just gonna get worse. The heat, it's getting worse. It's getting hotter and hotter.
I'm not excited.
Yeah, you poor pregnant girl, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a little buddy there.
I do. I thought it would be highly appropriate to introduce Martini Weenie.
Marty, there he is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see. You can probably see him on camera. His little head sticking out there.
He's slightly hiding right now.
Yeah.
There we go. I had to readjust. Yeah, but no, this is little Mr. Martini. I call him Martini Weenie, and Zach calls him Mr. Mart.
Martin.
Yeah, Martin.
When I'm feeling real formal.
Right.
What is it? Martin J. Reinert. Is his
Yeah,
name.
Martin J. Reinert.
Yeah, you remember what the J stands for?
No.
Jamal.
Jamal. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, Martin Jamal.
Yeah.
Reinert. And there's Iris
Iris,
Marie Reinert.
Yeah.
I just made that one up on the spot.
Iris is out here trying to get into everything, trying to be the star of the show, and then Martini over here is being shyer than a snail.
Well, it's a little bright for him. They're nocturnal, right? So there's a lot of light in here for him.
Yeah, but even when I initially took him out before you turn the lights on, he has this thing where, like, when I take him out, he hides his head, and it takes him a while to warm up to people, and then he'll finally poke out. So in a little bit he'll start to get comfortable and start moving around. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be all over you within a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we took a little trip to the hospital this week. Yeah, that was a scary time.
It was quite embarrassing for me.
Oh, no, stop that. Hang on, I'm still playing the music here. I'm gonna play the audio here. So this is actually Heather going into labor. Glad. I just want you to see how incredibly uncomfortable your mother is. So you're in extreme pain. I mean, you are doubled over, and we didn't think much about it at first because there just happens to be a lot of pain involved with pregnancy, pains and pulls and uncomfortableness. But I looked over at you, and you're on the sofa, and you are doubled over in pain. I mean, you can't stand up, and I'm like, dude, this ain't right.
It was quite painful.
Yeah, and the thing is it kept going in and out. So it was kind of like starting to come across to me as contractions. Yeah. And
well, that's what the nurses said whenever something goes wrong, I call my OB.
As you're supposed to.
Yeah, right. I call them and tell them what's going on and see what I should do. So far, every time they tell me, go to the hospital.
It has been pretty consistent. Yeah. Sadly, we didn't see anybody we recognized when we were there.
Unfortunately, I really like the people from last time.
Yeah. So,
the audience is probably thinking, what happened the last time?
Whatever. But
yeah, this one was more exciting.
Yeah. So, we're worried that you're in labor because you are a candidate for early labor.
Yeah. What is it? What do I have?
High proteins.
Yeah, but it had a name. It was. Like that. Yeah.
I don't know. It has to do with high blood pressure and I don't know, a bunch of other things. But
yeah.
So it's like totally plausible. And I mean, she's been moaning and almost crying, but of course laughing like she always does the entire way here. And I've been hauling it. Yeah, pretty good, but it's pouring down rain outside. Which is so of all days, it's finally it's raining in Las Vegas. To know. So I've been trying to be careful, but also keep things moving at the same time. So we're gonna go in and hope that you're not being born yet, because you still have almost 3 months to go, and we'd prefer to,
stay that way.
Yeah. So I asked her permission if we could record that because I thought if you really were going into labor, it would be fun for Vlad to see that. And even if it isn't, I mean, who has video of their mom, pregnant?
Exactly.
Nobody really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could hear if you're just listening, you could hear your breathing, and it sounds like you're a woman in labor.
Yeah.
And it sure looked like it. And you said the pain started moving down. And we're
think
like halfway to Vegas.
I'm mostly thinking, because I am also getting what they call Braxton Hicks.
Yeah.
And it was, normally I get them more up top where my belly button is, but they were starting to go down more, like towards like where my bladder is and everything. So I started getting really intense Braxton Hicks down there. Right. So I'm thinking from just the intense pain, I'm really like just clenching my muscles and everything. I think it was starting up the Braxton Hicks.
Yeah, right.
So I'm thinking that's might have what it been.
Well, so there were a lot of scary things going on at once, and you have to understand that out here, we live in rural Nevada, in Pahrump, Nevada, and there is a hospital. There's actually one right down the street. If I go to the corner down here, I can maybe see it with binoculars. It's not that far, but they're not qualified to handle pretty much anything.
Yeah. Every time I call my OB, I ask them, can I just go to the hospital here?
No.
All they tell me is, no, they're going to send you down here.
It's a glorified, like, urgent care. And basically, it's the place where you go while you wait for the helicopter to take you to a real hospital.
Yeah.
So,
although the very first time, so when we first found out we were pregnant, it was quite scary. Yeah. A couple days later, I ended up bleeding.
Yeah.
So we did end up going down to urgent care here, and they actually did a pretty good job. I was really surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The people are great. The service is great. There's nothing wrong going in there. They just simply don't have the resources. That's
I just don't think they got like the baby incubator and stuff.
No, it's not. It's like a 1-floor hospital. They have like 25 rooms or something. It's not. Yeah. They just simply don't have the resources. So
exactly.
So
that's the place where you go so that you can get into a vehicle that can go past the speed limit without getting pulled over.
Exactly. So they send us to Vegas, and for us, I mean, Sunrise Hospital, Southern Hills is like an hour 15 for us.
Yeah, the way you drove the other day.
Yeah, 15 minutes. So
40.
So we have to drive all the way down there. So about halfway there is when you start feeling it lower, and it started to get really scary for me. And so we admit you in there, and I pull in, and we valet the car so you don't have to walk.
Yeah, and that was quite nice.
Yeah, that was very nice. And Southern Hills is a nice place.
It is. This is the place where we're actually gonna go when I am gonna have Vlad. Yeah. I'm really quite pleased with this place, and I'm really excited actually.
Yeah. I mean, as much as you don't want to go to the hospital in advance, it'll be comfortable when we go there because we've been there now a couple times.
Exactly.
We know where everything is, and it's comfortable. But the people there have been great. The care is great. Yeah. But anyway, so they kept you. We were there for probably a good 4 hours.
Yeah, they wanted to keep me overnight, but thank goodness towards the end they asked us. They were like, "Do you want to go home?"
Yeah. Well, so they ran every test in the book on you just to make sure there was nothing severe going on. And,
my urine was slightly contaminated. What the doctor said.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the protein though that's in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what was going on with that, and they just couldn't find anything wrong.
Yeah. And they thought my urine was going back up into my kidney.
Right, and that wasn't the case. That wasn't it. So when they determined that there was nothing we could really do, nothing that's going to be harmful, I said, go home and deal with it.
I have been doing some no-nos, and I've been overdoing it quite a lot than I probably should, being over 6 months pregnant. Getting to one of the next segments, we were cleaning out a trailer. We'll get to that a little later.
Yeah.
And I was helping.
It sounds boring, but it's a whole adventure and a half. Yeah. Sorry, I just nailed the mic there. Yeah.
I was helping cleaning it out, moving a mattress and heavy filing cabinets, things like that. And I'm pretty sure.
Don't tell them that. They're going to get mad at me because I'm supposed to stop you.
It was all my decision, guys. Don't get mad at Zach.
This woman won't listen. She'll do what she wants.
I'm as stubborn as a darn mule. I cannot stop going. earlier today, I moved a.
You moved a table saw. You moved a freaking table saw.
By myself.
You 6 months pregnant self moves a freaking table saw by yourself. I come in here. I didn't even know. I see it's getting ready to pack up to go to the car, and I looked at you and I said, "What is wrong with you? Do you want to be back in the bed?"
But yeah, no. Turns out the doctors think I most likely pulled a ligament in the side of my back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so just a lot of rest. You know, you just needed to lay around, and I told you it's an excuse to kick your feet up and just relax. That's what you're supposed to do.
So we got home pretty late from the hospital, about like 8 or 9. No, we got out at the hospital at 8, and then we got home maybe around 9.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, the next day, like I went to bed. It was really nice. And then the next day, all I did was just lay on the couch watching the Kardashians while Zach was next to me at his desk working. So that day was quite nice.
Yeah, that horrid show. All right, well, we got to go to break, but when we come back,
lots more to talk about.
Martini right there. You see that little guy?
Yeah, I'm surprised he still hasn't opened
he's
up
not
yet.
moving much. Yeah,
we'll wait till after break.
That's good. Yeah. And I got to take him to the vet.
Yeah, we'll get to that next.
Last week.
Lots of fun stuff.
That was fun. We got our car stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
The other day.
And trailer.
And that was an adventure. And then trailer. I know it sounds really boring, but wait till we tell you about it.
Just wait.
And okay, I'm not going to go into the other things yet.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Wild wailing guitar.
Yeah.
So you've got a martini in your lap there, or on your chest. Yep. So I got to take him to the vet the other day. And you know when you're growing up and you learn about being a veterinarian in the little book, the textbook or whatever, and it shows like a doctor with their little stethoscope, and she's like putting it on a snake, and they got a little hamster. No, you're not familiar with this?
Not on a snake.
The little kid picture.
I've seen the stereotypical like vet doctor with cute little puppies and kittens.
No, I remember growing up, and if you wanted to be a vet, you wanted to be, you were going to work on cats and elephants and all this stuff. And it's like so unrealistic. So,
elephants.
It's still like when you're in elementary school, it's what you think you're going to do, right?
Yeah.
Well, this vet hasn't seen a snake in like 10 years. So we let's roll back a little bit. So
speaking of which,
it's getting a little curious,
right?
Maybe. So we had some issues with his cage. Long story, won't get into that. But he in other words, started to get irritated on his underside. So he was peeling and he was getting kind of red,
flaking and turning pink.
Yeah. So you were really concerned about him, obviously. You love him and want to make sure he was okay. So you wanted to take him to the vet, but you couldn't get in here anywhere for a couple days. And you already had another commitment, but the first appointment they had was Monday.
Yeah.
So you asked if I could take him.
Yep.
So I don't mind martini. I don't mind snakes. Okay. Now I'm not super comfortable.
Yeah,
but I don't mind him though.
This was the first time Zach had to take him out of his cage by himself.
It's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. With Martini, he likes to bite.
He's a little bitey sometimes.
He's quite feisty. I am not afraid of him. I quite enjoy him, and I feel like Martini is getting really comfortable with me.
Yeah.
It's just with other people, he's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So, I asked Zach to take him to the vet.
So it's my job to unload an upset snake from a cage. So right now he's in a container because he's being quarantined and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a very shallow container. So you take the lid off and you don't have a whole lot of room to work with. He can start slithering out or whatever.
Yeah.
So I grab him. He was in a bit of a bundle, so it wasn't too hard. And I say, well, how am I going to get him to the vet? Well, I look around the house and we've got a cat crate. So I put him in the cat crate. Now, the holes on the side aren't bad, but the holes on the front are like maybe an inch by an inch. The wire mesh
kind of thing.
And I mean, he's a pretty thick snake, but it still made me nervous. Plus, I don't want him to like get stuck or something. So
snakes are like the biggest predators in the wild, but surprisingly, they're not that bright.
No, they aren't. I've seen him do things.
If their head fits, by all means, don't get them wrong. They're gonna try. Yeah. I don't think they're compensating for their tummies, or their midpoints.
Well, they don't have whiskers.
I know. Yeah, right.
So I shoved a pillowcase on the inside of the door and kind of like clipped it in there so he wouldn't be able to go out. But he had no interest in leaving that crate.
Yeah,
he was not comfortable. So
Zach will insert a picture of what
we will.
He was looking at.
Go on the Facebook page and you'll see him just staring at me, and he is ready to kill. So and by the way, that video I shared, we're going to put that on the Facebook page too. We're on the way to the hospital. I forgot to mention that. So you can see it on the Facebook page. But so he's looking at me, and I just go to like, okay, that's enough, and I go to close the cage. And boom, he lurches he strikes at the door as it's closing. So he was definitely not happy.
Yeah.
Happy little snake. So, the nurses there were very, intrigued and excited. Like they didn't quite know what to do. They didn't know how to handle him.
Yeah.
One was like a little bit afraid. But we got him in there and, she just checked him out, and it was tough though. So she actually the doctor pinned him down. Like she grabbed him from the back of the head and kind of spun it around and pinned him onto the table, so she could see his underside. But she and God bless her because she was just great. I mean, she was fantastic to work with. These vets, even though they were a little uncomfortable about it, they still did what they needed to do. They got in there and did it.
You didn't mention how they got him out of the cat crate.
How did we get him out of the crate?
I don't know. You told me you said they put on giant kangaroo gloves to get him out.
Yeah, well, so I tried like you do with a cat, where you tilt the thing and you just kind of shake it a little bit, you know. But he's because he was on a towel in there, so he's just kind of ingrained in there. I couldn't get him out, so I wasn't gonna reach my hand in there. So they got these big, like the kind of gloves you use to hold birds, like they're made of like thick kangaroo skin. And I reached in and pulled him out, but he didn't fight them too bad. He struck at me again. I think when I was walking past him or something, I forget. But
he does that.
Yeah,
you can't walk or do anything quickly in front of him, or else he'll strike. Mm-hmm. It's a hit or miss. He'll either get kind of nervous and back away, or he'll strike.
Yeah, it just depends on the mood he's in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he's he's got a little solution that you have to bathe him in.
Yeah, it turns out they're thinking he either just got like, what was it, kind of like a sunburn in a way, or something like that. Or he was allergic to his bedding or something like that. So, but I mean, I'm doing his solution bath, and next thing I know, he shed. He looks beautiful now.
Yeah, he does.
He just ate. So.
Yeah, he does. His eyes, if you don't know much about snakes, their eyes kind of glaze over, almost looks like they have cataracts.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of tell he's getting ready. And
his
eyes are shiny now.
They call it the blue stage.
Oh, okay.
When their eyes turn that, like the foggy color. Yeah, I looked it up, and they call it the blue stage. So, but yeah, he's just absolutely gorgeous now, and I'm surprised he's not moving, and I got lipstick all over him because I was kissing him. People are gonna be like, "You sick person." I was gonna say something else, but I can't.
You're doing good. Trying not to swear. Good for you.
I know, right? Yeah. But he's not being too movable, so I kind of just want to.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there you go. Oh, there's some action.
I'm trying to show. He's not really the type to be that exposed. He'll try and hide his head. But here's a beautiful martini. He is quite large when I get him stretched out. Right. He doesn't like to be too stretched out. But
this is spiraling around.
I know, right?
This is where, if you're just listening to us, it's definitely worth hitting up the Facebook page and
exactly so that you can see. And he's quite a gorgeous color too. He's a champagne kind of. Yeah. So he's really pretty, and I feel like I got a really good deal on him. I gave the lady she was really nice. She owns a store out in Vegas called The Wild Things.
Great
I
shop.
told her my budget. I was like, I don't really want to spend over $250. And then I find a snake that is exactly $250. So
that's before the cage and everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. So I kind of went like slightly over my budget that I wanted to, but after everything, it's completely worth it, except for that darn cage.
He is unique. We've met a couple people who are surprised by the way he looks and say that he's kind of a rare.
He's really
breed.
Quite pretty. Like, it's hard to explain. He's just like, when I say he's a champagne kind of snake, he does have that champagne kind of dirty look, and then he has the patterns of a normal like green ball python where he has the spots on the top and stuff. He has like the brown spots, and it's just quite gorgeous.
He's got an ounce of like albino in him.
Something like that. Yeah. Just a very tiny hint, I think. That's what I was reading, so.
We've got some great pictures of him. We'll be sure to throw them up on the Facebook page.
God, I have tons of photos.
Everything is finally finalized now. Facebook.com/The Zach Rein Show. And the ZachReinShow.com. Yeah, we finally got all that crap straightened out. Record first, do all the other things later.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's all good to go. So wedding's coming up less than 30 days now.
Yes, I'm
it's so on the way. We're getting married in an abandoned high school, like a big haunted style kind of thing, in a ghost town, mining ghost town in the middle of Nevada. It's gonna be awesome. You've got a really cool outfit. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a little bit like Victorian, a little bit steampunk, a little bit, And I'm kind of doing the same thing with a hint of Burning Man. So it's like taking something elegant, but also making it weird at the same time. So I've got a great corduroy vest. We just picked up a vest today. We found from a local vendor.
What else is going with your outfit?
Well, I'm getting there.
I'm really excited about it.
Saving the best for last. And I've got a steampunk hat with goggles. We're gonna get some cool shoes and some probably black slacks. And today we picked up a skunk pelt.
Yes. Unfortunately, I didn't make it.
No. Yeah, that one's not your work.
There's no skunks out here.
No, and I guess not, right?
Yeah.
No skunks in the desert.
But anyways, it's nice to also admire someone else's work.
It sure is, and they were very well done. They're very pretty. And what am I going to do? Sling them over my shoulder, I think? Because who wouldn't want to walk down the aisle with a skunk on their shoulder?
Exactly.
That's right. And we just get that. We get my ring bearer llama, and we'll be all set.
Martini.
You could... As much as I want a ring bearer llama, Martini would make a great ring bearer because you just pop him on the back end of him. He just delivers it to you. It'll come out from your hair and just bring him out.
Yes.
All right. As much as I want a llama, we'll save the llama for something else. I don't know, but.
We'll save it for like Vlad's birthday or something.
There you go. We'll do the petting zoo thing.
Yeah.
Well, the celebratory llama.
Yeah.
There's a cat right here. How about that? I wonder how she'd get along with a llama. That'd be interesting.
Oh, goodness.
I don't really want to find out. Well, I was going to play the music to let us go to break here, but I can't. Oh, okay. This thing is doing things by itself. Here we go.
Break came really quickly.
There we go. There it is. I know. Well, we're having fun. We have a good time,
We got so much to talk about. I feel like there's just everything and anything to talk about.
Yeah, there is so much going on. So much to look forward to in the coming months.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. So speaking of animal pelts, you have if you watched our episode a couple weeks ago, you have a big moo cow outside. Like how I have to call it moo cow.
Right, yeah, I call it moo cow, yeah. Yeah.
That you found in the desert, and that was a whole thing. We won't go into that again, but you've been working on it. And
I had to redo it. I had to soak it again in a baby pool with water and liquid fabric softener. Yeah.
So the problem was with it, you took great care. I mean, it was a pain to work in, but it came out hard as a rock.
Yeah, and UFO'd over the fence.
Yeah. So we talked about this one last week or something, but the wind caught it the one day and just right into the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this
feet.
big, 5 foot by 4 foot belt.
It's a cow. It's huge.
Just right into the air and into the neighbor's yard. Yeah, so
so it took a couple days to soften it again. Then we flattened it out again, laid it out, dried it again. It's still slightly hard. It'll move a little bit more, but it got hard again. So
yeah, it's actually pliable. Like you could sort of maybe roll it up if you had to now. But it'd be nice to soak it again. And
I'm gonna soak it again. I have another idea I'm gonna try because I really want to make it into a rug, but really, if it does not work this next time, we're just gonna hang it up outside.
And remember, it's got a tail attached to it, so it'll make a very unique rug.
Yeah. Hey guys, did you see it's leaking?
So what, the cow?
Tail?
No,
the tail is leaking.
So it's the whole back skin of the cow, and then at the very end there's a tail. So the tail has its last kind of bone sticking out.
Yeah, and there's a hole in it.
Yeah,
like the tail is
for those
hollow.
of you who care to hear about all this.
Well, so
if
some
not,
of
just skip ahead like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, but some of the liquid is now starting to drain out of the tail and it's dripping. It looks kind of disgusting. So.
Well, and you soaked it in alcohol or something like that would kill everything. So there's nothing.
Yeah, I soaked it in alcohol. And then when I dried it the first time, I dried it with borax. I poured borax all over it. So I tried to kill everything that was living on this pelt. So So it's not. It's still gross, but it's not as gross as it could be. Yeah. So that's the cow update for those of you who care to know. One of these days you'll tune in and we'll see it on the floor under you there while you're sitting. Exactly.
Yeah. So, speaking of outdoors and messy stuff, we got the car stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty, I like taking it out in the mud. I like getting it dirty. I have a big Crown Victoria.
Yeah.
It drives like a pickup truck. It handles like a pickup truck.
That is our off-roading vehicle for right now until we get actual off-roaders.
Yeah. And it's got a steel plate under the engine, so the risk of damaging anything too significantly, as long as you have half a brain and don't do something dumb, is there's certain, most off-road, most gravel roads we could take it onto. It's not a problem. So we're out and, I don't know, we were looking for animal bones or something and just out exploring. And I went to do kind of a loop and turn around in a big flat area. And there was this discolored spot. And before I could think too much about it, we were in that discolored spot. And I tried kind of gunning it out of it. And we ended up getting
pretty
sinking in there a little bit.
Mud.
So I'm thinking, okay, no, I can get at anything, right? Because I've never gotten stuck before. So there's chunks of wood. There's
we got stuck previously,
right?
But that was kind of like gravel. So I was pushing the gas, Zach was pushing, and we were able to get out of that one pretty easily. This was mud, and not gravel. And
I travel with a shovel and everything. When we do that, we travel with a shovel. So if we do get stuck, there's a floor jack. I mean, I can get out of most situations pretty well.
This one was like quicksand.
I'd get out of my car and I'd just go in and it would just take my shoe right with it. It was so thick.
Yeah.
And we're trying to rock the car back and forth. I have a crap lined up under the tires, so as soon as it grabs, it can just go right out. I mean, I plopped a tire on the ground and sunk it into the dirt so I could push the push bar. I mean, we tried everything in the book, and the tires are just getting deeper and deeper and deeper to the point where, my muffler and the back end of the car is in almost, the mud.
Yeah.
So I'm and we're kind of we're off the main road. We're off the gravel road. I mean, we're not. I could still see a road and cars in the distance, but it wasn't something easy to get to. So thankfully, good old Reese to the rescue. So there's a woman that's been living in our backyard in an Airstream trailer. And this, as enjoyable as that sounds, she travels the country and she loves doing that. So she came around this area. She came out of California and came to hang out with me for a while. Reese is an old friend from the production days when we were traveling the country doing the show. We hired her as a production assistant. Known her ever since, so I've known her for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. Just an awesome, out there, open-minded, ukulele playing, incredible person, and just full of love and just a fantastic person. And so her and her dog have been living out in our backyard for a little while until they go on their next adventure. And so she happens to have a Ford F-150, nice 4-wheel drive pickup truck.
There's a lizard on the window.
There's
sorry.
a lizard on the window?
Look at it. I'm sorry.
Holy crap. Sorry. We got to get that on camera. Hang on.
It looks like a gecko. I'm sorry, guys. Look at
Keep talking
this. Okay, so I just saw something out of the corner of my eye moving on the window. And I actually it looks like just a normal lizard, but the way its feet look like a gecko. Or like... Look at it go! I think it's eating the bugs out there. I'm sorry, guys. This is... I'm dead. That's probably the best thing. Flip it.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, guys.
She got up to move her camera. That was a worthy interruption. That is perfectly fine.
That was perfect. I'm dead.
I'm sorry the window is so gross. It's like 6 feet in the air, so what do you want? It's a pain to clean.
Yeah.
Is it still up there?
I don't know. It looks like it's on that or something. It might be a moth that I'm saying.
Yeah,
but that was great.
Because all the hot production lights in here, they're drawing the bugs onto the windows. So. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway.
That was the coolest thing I think that's happened to me in the last year.
As we talk about all of our adventures and stuff, and then
what do you think Martini would chase after him, put him up there on the windowsill?
Right? He'll start striking at the window.
Right.
Thunk, 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 thunk.
So anyway, Reese to the rescue. So Reese comes out, and by the way, we took a minute by minute journal of what was going on out there. So go ahead and hit up our Facebook page, and we'll have that. We thought we were gonna die.
Yeah.
I was so hungry after being out there for about 15 minutes. I thought that was going to be the end.
Us walking that deserted rock road that is literally 20 minutes away from civilization.
20 minutes, more like 2 minutes. I could hear the cars.
I know. Right?
Anyway, so go on our Facebook page and see our chronicles of being stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
It's rather entertaining. But Reese came out, saved the day, pulled us out. First, we had some old like ratchet straps that we tried.
Those snapped.
I didn't think it was, but it was worth a shot. So then we went down to the Tractor Supply and got some real toe straps and pulled it right out.
We went in Reese's truck
truck, not in ours, yeah. And some fool with a Jeep shows up. You remember that?
Yeah.
So some fool with a Jeep shows up, and I'm like, I just want to avoid people. Like, I know, I know I got stuck. I know I probably shouldn't have done it in that car. I don't need to be reminded of that, right?
Yeah.
So here comes fool with a Jeep, and I'm like, okay, he's either going to help us or he's going to make me feel stupid or one or the other. He comes up and says, oh, why are you bringing that out here? Gonna get stuck. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do? Well, I was hoping for someone like you with a Jeep to come along and help pull us out.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything to do that. Well, good luck. And he drives off.
Yep, and that was it of Jeep guy.
Shouldn't that be like a Jeep owner's dream right there?
Right.
To find somebody stuck in the mud and kick it into 4-wheel drive, strap on.
Yeah.
And there you go. No, I guess not. He was just out for the... I don't know, but he's just out for the brand, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. So Reese pulled us out and she saved the day. I would have loved to have her on the show. She plays ukulele, but she had to take off.
That would be great if one day we can have her sing in
right. I think she'll be back. I bet she'll be back. But if you're ever somewhere and you see Reese Pontiff, Look her up on YouTube, Reese Pontiff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she has a couple videos up there. Playing the ukulele at your local bar in some little Colorado town. You need to go see her. She's just a blast.
Yeah.
Go support her. Put a couple bucks in a tip jar.
Her heart is so sweet.
Yeah. Her and Esmeralda, the dog.
Yeah,
the black brown lab.
Yeah,
that
drools.
Sweet dog. Yeah. And having a dog in here, because we've got the two cats.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how that was going to go.
Polly
and,
got
Polly, the one that's scared of everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved her.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say absolutely loved her, but they actually got close.
Yeah.
And they sniffed each other and they didn't hate each other. Iris, on the other hand, wanted nothing.
Bye, Felicia.
That.
That's how she saw it as.
Exactly. Yep. So, Miss Reese, be well wherever you're at. I know you were headed to Texas, and who knows?
We miss
You're
you.
always on the road, but good to have you around. All right. Well, we still got to tell people about our trailer when we come back. Speaking of trailers, right? Look at this. Everything's like connecting beautifully today. This is a cool thing. So I'm going to tell about our trailer, and we'll be right back. Mm-hmm. So speaking of trailers, we got ourselves a new little outdoorsy project.
Yeah, we do.
So I deal in all kinds of weird things, and one of them includes real estate and working with some real estate companies doing their marketing, and then I get roped into other things like doing photography and things that other people can't do. You're still looking for that gecko up there, aren't you?
I keep seeing moths now.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, that was great.
It's just tripping me out.
So we got this new lot, not too far from here, and it had some junk on it, and they asked me if I could help them get rid of it. So I'm going to load up a flatbed trailer or something and get it all out. And typical desert trash, we've talked about this before. What's the typical desert trash? Tires, big screen TVs,
clothes,
children's toys. Yeah. So a little bit of everything out there. And
they told us if there's anything interesting, keep it.
They don't care. I mean, they just want it. It's usually
if
it's been laying outside, it's garbage, So there's a travel trailer out there, right? So, and it's dumped in a ditch. It's been out there. It's whatever. I'm sure people have camped out in what's the word? When you're living somewhere you shouldn't be. Why am I thinking crouching? It's not crouching.
I keep thinking
squatting.
Hitchhiking.
Squatting.
Oh, it's squatting.
Not crouching, it's squatting. Yeah.
Squatters.
Yeah. So I'm sure somebody was squatting in it. So most normal people who don't taxidermy animals, and have cow skins outside and snakes around their necks, most people would see that as garbage. You and I, on the other hand, see that as our new vacation spot. So it's in a ditch, right? But it's got 3 out of 4 tires on it.
Yeah. Our eyes just light up when we see this.
Most of the windows on it are good and everything. So I've got a guy, and this is one of those guys that you call up when you have a problem that you need to resolve. And that goes a lot of different ways. Our problem in this particular instance was that I don't have a hitch on any of our vehicles. So, so he goes out there and we got it off the ground because where the ball would go was I guess it was at the tongue, was literally in the dirt. So anyway, we jacked it up. He pulls it out of the ditch. We drug it down the road. We won't talk about the time from leaving the property to getting to our house because technically that was illegal. But we drug it very, very slowly and got it here. We pulled all the trash out of it, cleaned it out. It's old. It's probably mid-70s. Yeah. Inside's pretty rough, but it's got good bones. It didn't leak. It's still standing.
And this is where in the when we first started for this show, and I was saying, we're taking out a mattress and moving these giant.
Yes.
There's quite a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, enough that I ordered a dumpster, like one of the tall ones.
Yeah, we ordered a dumpster. Just the what was it? Sunday night or something like that. It's like 8:00. We're just like, well, let's go get some coffee. We go get some coffee because we were kind of crashing at first.
Yeah.
We go get some coffee. Next thing we know, we're going. We ended up getting that whole trailer.
We were like a couple of meth heads, man. We put those gloves on and we just cleaned that thing.
Yeah.
And it's oh jeez.
Yum.
Sorry. Jeez.
Yum.
Oh gosh, this is the realest show you'll ever watch.
Yeah.
So we
minus my language.
Right, yeah, true.
Yeah.
We got to get on Sirius XM for that. Anyway, there's your giant hospital mug. I don't know how you can drink out of that. It tastes like plastic. Everything tastes like plastic out of that thing. Southern Hills.
I know, but it motivates me to drink more water than using water bottles.
Good for you. That's because you need to drink water. So we got it all cleaned out, and I don't know. If anything interesting happens with it, we'll get it straightened out. But because it's on my property now, we should be able to go ahead and get a title for it and all that jazz. Because it's been gone for a while. But we're gonna make it to our little Goldfield Traveler or wherever Traveler.
Yeah.
But it'll probably sit out there for a couple of years. So Bill came out and straightened it out for me and put it exactly where I want it, and it can live there for a year or two until we
get situated with Vlad on the way, with the marriage, things like that. We got other things to pay for this, so this project is like in the long run.
Yeah, my goal with it is to kind of like spend as little as possible on it. That's kind of the fun hobby for me. But anyway, so while you were laying around, you were watching the Kardashians for a while, and I've heard of this show.
And I'm still watching it.
There's like 85 freaking seasons to it.
There's 13.
Close enough. It feels like 85.
I know I'm like way, way, way behind. I never really was into it at first. And I just got bored because I watched stuff on Hulu. I've watched Bridezillas.
Yeah.
I've watched, there's a show called Cheapest Weddings, and it kind of motivated me because I'm writing. Yeah. So I've been watching some stuff, and I kind of ran out of stuff to watch, and then I see Keeping Up with the Kardashians on Hulu. And I'm just like, I guess. I'm on season 4 or something now, and I am just hooked. It is so entertaining. But so
when I'm so obnoxious.
When I'm watching it, I'll most of the time I'm around Zach. World. Zach is either working or he's laying in bed with me while I'm watching it. When he's working, when he's at his desk, I'll be sitting on the couch, and all I'll hear from him is his small, slight comments like, "You dumb," like I can't. I'm trying to watch my language.
I cannot. It is the. So by the way, if you're on the wide shot, I'm totally cut off. It got all screwed up when we went to the gecko. Thank you for that very much.
Sorry, it was totally worth it.
It took me this long to notice, but whatever. That is the epitome of what is wrong with this earth. Not this country, not our culture, Earth, okay? The Kardashians make me sick. They literally, I could feel myself becoming shorter with you while we were sitting there watching it because of it was just radiating. The stupidity and anger was just radiating.
It's frustrating to me because, I mean, to the Kardashians' eyes, we're like poverty level. I think Zach and I do really well. But I watched one episode and where Kim literally goes to a store and spends $20,000. So that watching this show just doesn't make me envious, but makes me highly jealous. Like, how do these women have so much money with what they do, yet not necessarily me, but Zach works his tail off. It's like, why can't Zach go to a store and spend $20,000?
I don't know. It makes me sick. But, people need to be thankful for what we have, the oxygen that you breathe, the food we have. And they're just so unthankful for everything. And I think that's really what makes me sick. And that they sit there and they deal with the stupidest problems in the world. that if you had half a brain, you could resolve. But anyway, I'm not going to bore everyone with going on with that. Last thing we wanted to cover in this show. So if you're probably familiar with Bitcoin.
Yes.
The cryptocurrency, whatever.
Yeah, you're always showing
Google
me your
it.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. I've got a couple investments,
Yeah.
on Bitcoin,
It's
Litecoin,
like the
and all
Seinfeld
those.
episode. It went down a little bit, but then it shot right up.
It went down with the ship there. It was up really well, and then it went down, and it's slowly working its way
going back up.
Yeah. So there's a new one now called Banana Coin. I'm not even screwing with you. I promise.
The banana phone. That's what that reminds me of. Sorry.
Okay.
Beep. Sorry.
Our mission. Okay, so it has to be based on something. What is its worth? Okay. The value is the export price of 1 kilogram of bananas. That's what it's equal to. So as banana value goes up, as the value of bananas increases, hopefully it'll go up like gas prices. Your investment in banana coin will increase as well. So this is a environmentally friendly plantation in Laos. You know Laos, it's that guy from King of the Hills from
Laos rules. Laos rules.
Which was recently a utility token based on another Bitcoin type. And our mission is to grow an organic and healthy variety of bananas known as ladyfinger in our plantations in Laos and export them to China, whatever. But this is what it is. So if you want to invest in bananas, if you want to invest in the funniest fruit, you can get rich off of bananas. So make my banana fortune.
Fun fact, what my grandfather told me, I'm pretty sure he told me, the artificial banana flavor, like banana Laffy Taffy and stuff. Apparently, that used to be a flavor of a real banana way back when, and it went extinct.
So invest today, ladies and gentlemen. Save the banana and get rich at the same time. Sounds like a win-win to me. Well, sign on up. It's they've sold 6.8 million tokens out of 14 million tokens, so there's still more than 50% available to invest in.
Let's do it.
$2.3, $2.30 per kilogram. So you can buy one right now, and it'll have a value of $2.30 if I'm reading this right. Look it up, bananacoin.io. Banana Coin. I keep saying it like you're gonna forget it. Just freaking Google it. Oh man. All right, guys.
God.
Thanks for joining us and listening to our taxidermy stories, our cat stories, our snake stories, our trailer stories.
Lots of laughs
and
tonight.
Our banana stories. We appreciate you being here with us tonight. We'll see you here again next week.
Bye, guys.